Siding, some siding staining that was quite a mystery. Shane, I believe, has the answer. We're going to take a look at the photo I've been wanting to share since we talked about that topic a couple of weeks ago. Also, Thanksgiving safety. That's right, it's the holidays. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And you never think about Thanksgiving safety, at least I never did, but I've seen all kinds of articles all over the internet. We're going to cover some Thanksgiving safety tips around the house. And coming up later on our news desk, an iconic holiday house goes on the market. Find out what that is coming up just in time for the holidays. That plus more in about 1 minute on the Home Pros Radio Show.
The Home Pros Radio Show. Brought to you by Prime Lending. Home loans made simple. Welcome to the Home Pros Radio Show, the premier resource for the well-informed homeowner. With over 30 years of combined home inspection and renovation experience, your hosts, Tommy Donovan and Shane Hips, help you stay on top of your home improvement and home maintenance needs. Visit homeprosradio.com to access the trusted product and service providers that are a part of our Home Pros network. Find the Home Pros Radio Show on Facebook and Twitter for regular show updates and additional information on the topics covered on our show. To join the conversation, call 248-HOME-PROS. And now, your Home Pros, Tommy Donovan and Shane Hips.
And welcome to the Home Pros Radio Show. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections.
And I'm Shane Hips with Closing Contractor.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for this. I guess it's a special holiday edition. I guess it's day before Thanksgiving.
Shoot,
Getting ready to
Turkey Day.
Yeah, I can already tell that your office is ready for the holidays. They've already put up their Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go.
Man.
So one of the companies put it in. I didn't even know about it. I walked in the other day and saw it. I was like,
there are several companies in this building where we work, where we do the show, and so
they're ready.
Yeah, it's a nice little surprise. It's the holidays.
Yeah, I didn't have any. I ain't seen no presents under there for me yet.
No, not yet.
I'm gonna keep looking every day. Maybe they'll put something under there.
There you go. So yeah, we have that. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. What you got? Any special plans?
I'm going to my sister's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're all local, so it's pretty easy for me. I just go about a mile up the road to my sister's house, and that's about what I do.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, we've got my kids are that age where it's but my boyfriend and this, that, and the other. So we're having more than one Thanksgiving. I'm going to be around by this time next week of all the Thanksgiving dinners we're having at our house, at that house, at the grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Too many meals.
Yeah, that's a lot. I guess I only have one Thanksgiving that I'm planning on doing. That's at my sister's. If anyone wants to bring boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, just bring them. I mean, that's gonna be your one shot.
Yeah. Well, coming up later in the show, we're gonna be talking about Thanksgiving safety, a topic I never really thought to discuss, but doing my research and prepping for the show, I was seeing all kinds of websites offering Thanksgiving safety tips. So I figured, hey, well, let's just share some of those to see what you think, especially as most of y'all, if you are watching this show on Facebook Live or YouTube, you're probably someone in your house is getting ready for the big meal tomorrow. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. But before we get to that, I want to go to this. It's our
photo from the field.
What are you looking at? I know what I'm doing.
Did you see that? So this is the photo that I had talked about just a couple weeks ago when we were talking about pressure washing.
Yeah.
And how it's important to make sure that
the
settings are right and all that kind of stuff, and you're using the right kind of material cleaners.
Yeah.
And there are certain cleaners that certain ingredients, I guess, you want to avoid.
Right.
When applying to different types of siding. So I saw this at a house maybe a year or so ago where it just looks like just these random spots on the siding. Now down at the bottom where it is wet on that, it's just fiber cement board.
Okay, so
that's
that is
from me.
Wet at the bottom.
And that's from me. I believe it was from me checking the sprinklers.
Why is there a gas can right there?
We were in the backyard.
That
had nothing to do. But
that's there's definitely something done.
You can see the mildew on the fence where the sprinklers spray the this is for one an indication that it's time to maybe adjust your sprinkler heads.
Right. Yeah. If there's that much water getting on your fence doesn't really need to be watered.
Yeah.
That much.
But what I found interesting is just like there's that, almost like you would call it for those of you who don't have the luxury of seeing the photo, it's the side of a home, fiber cement board, 2-story home, and it's almost as if somebody spilled bleach on the side of a house in different areas, like if you did it on a shirt or something. And at first I thought, well, maybe there was a leak out of the window from up top, but that's a big picture window going into the the bathroom up there, and that's not openable.
Yeah.
When you see it over beneath the other window, it's just almost in a couple of random spots. But then I wondered, you mentioned we were talking about different cleaners and different ingredients you apply to your pressure washer if you're doing that, or to your solution that you're using to clean the exterior of your home.
Right.
And they were warning you not to use certain kinds of bleaches and things like that.
Yeah.
It made me wonder if that might have been the case with this house.
Yeah, that's what I would sort of guess that has happened here.
Yeah.
Or even maybe when they were cleaning, maybe they got up there cleaning there's a lot at the bottom. I was going to say if they were cleaning around the trim of those windows.
Oh, yeah.
Like with bleach or something, and then it run down right there. But then there's a lot of but it is under every one of the windows.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, okay, did they do something to the window, like cleaning that window with bleach, whether it's the trim around it or whatever, but then all along the bottom, I don't know why it would
be down
cover
there.
every bit of that on the bottom, but yeah, they've definitely used. I'm gonna definitely say that there was a chemical used on this house in some way that shouldn't have come in contact with that fiber cement board.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
And this actually wasn't a house I was inspecting. It was the neighbor's house.
I got you.
So I didn't have the luxury of being able to go, what did y'all do out
What
here?
happened out here?
I guess I could have gone and rang the doorbell and said, what you do? What'd y'all do to? But no.
Say you're a service. I'm a home services company. I'm out here, looking. I noticed you got this. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
Act like you're selling something. Try to get some answers from 'em.
So that's what I was guessing.
Mhm.
That probably came from, just a bad, maybe too much of one element or another when actually trying to clean the exterior of your house. As you could tell too, they were probably doing it. They probably had mildew building up on the exterior of the home by just judging by the fence.
Yeah.
That side of the house obviously didn't get a whole lot of sunshine. This was a cloudy day when I took this picture, but
yeah, and who knows? We're saying that the areas were around the windows, or I said that it could have been coming from the windows, but it could be that that's where the mildew was mostly because of the water dripping off the windows, and then maybe they were trying to spot clean these areas, and
That's a
then
good point.
spot clean it with something that was not the best thing to use.
Yeah.
For a spot clean.
very good observation.
That's a possibility. Yeah, when it's this splotchy, it's sort of hard to pinpoint. Okay, what could they have done here?
Very good. So
I like this kind of building forensics. I like trying to figure out why in the world would this be like this. This is fun.
it's very much like the floor mat
Yeah.
issue we were talking about. I was assuming we had one solution, and then based on your experience, you're like, this is what I've seen in the past. Made total sense.
Yeah.
So we had to build up a mold in the crawl space. You can go back a couple of weeks for the solution behind that one.
You're so dumb.
Yeah.
You're so dumb.
Kind of made me
For
feel
real.
so dumb. Thank you very much. And if you out there, if you're listening or watch the Facebook Live or YouTube video and you see this photo, if you've seen our photo from the field on social media, you got any feedback? If you had any experience with this, let us know. We'd love to hear from you because it's those types of building forensics that make this stuff interesting.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, we do have a.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a...
Oh, a few
Excuse
questions.
me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I think you need to refresh your slideshow.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I think we need to refresh it. We have a different slide. That's for next week's show.
Okay.
But we do have a question that came up that I think would be very helpful to cover because this is one that I guess comes up from time to time. I guess as a home inspector, I get folks who are, do I need to do this and do I need to do that? And as far as services, we home inspectors will do pre-listing home inspections. We do home inspections for buyers and sellers and all that stuff. But there's one particular question we get: do I really need to do a re-inspection? On things that we might have written up in a home inspection report at one time or another. And I guess this question from Vicky in Greenville kind of answers that. Vicky says, I was just recently pressure washing the outside of my home, speaking of which, from our picture, to find that wood rot around my windows was existing. This was supposed to have been repaired by the seller before I purchased the home a month ago. Do I have any recourse? I don't know at this point because the signatures have been signed, have hit the dotted line. Everyone's kind of moved on at this point. I guess you're kind of out of luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of hard. I mean,
it's definitely a question for
your realtor.
Yeah, your realtor
Somebody.
or an attorney. I mean,
Yeah.
I would go back to the realtor first.
Yeah.
I'd go back to the real estate agent and just say, hey, this was supposed to be taken care of. But the thing is, on this kind of stuff, wood rot, I mean, if specific locations were not given,
Yeah.
who knows
That's good.
what all was supposed to be
point.
done.
Yeah.
Because when you pressure wash a house, more's gonna come loose. If there's any stuff that couldn't have been seen previously,
Yeah.
it's gonna open up a whole nother amount of stuff that people may not have had any idea that was even there.
It also has a lot to do with how much pressure you have coming out of that
Correct.
house. You could be tearing up the house.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, because I've gone to houses like not real estate transactions, houses where we were touching up all their trim and all, and then after we touched it all up, they had somebody else come in and pressure wash. All of a sudden, there was some new stuff because it got into stuff that wasn't noticed or seen. I mean, we weren't going around poking every square inch of the
tricky
house
thing.
with a screwdriver.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to be specific as a home inspector or even a realtor who's writing a repair request list. Be specific about the areas. And a lot of times, if you can't be specific, if you doubt for any reason that there's more than what was accessible, go ahead and just ask that it's all checked and repaired.
Right.
More than anything else, because you never know.
Yeah, and at least give the specific locations that you see.
Yeah.
And say, there could be more. Cover yourself that there could be more, but without someone physically going out and you're not
probing it and checking it,
there could always be more.
And and if this was an area that Vicky, that you had requested that you were expecting to be fixed and it wasn't fixed, this is the benefit of having a re-inspection before you close on the house. Is to have those things checked. I know it's an additional fee, but you're talking about typically $150 or so for an inspector to come out and recheck items on a on a repair request list, and then not have to worry about this thing popping up, weeks down the road.
And anytime I'm working with the seller, if they say fix wood rot, I always get the locations that what wood rot.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not the seller's responsibility to go find the damage.
Yes.
It's the buyer's responsibility to find the damage, so they got to bring me what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not that anybody's trying to
pull one over.
It's if you want something repaired, I have to know what you want repaired.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just throw a block. Hey, fix everything on the house.
Yeah.
I have to know what.
Junction boxes in the attic.
Yeah.
Fix them all.
Yeah,
It's like, what?
yeah. It's like, and honestly, even that's okay if there's all kinds of
If it's
junction
everywhere.
boxes up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like wood rot, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Wood rot at the window. Okay, what window?
Yeah.
There again, it's not the seller's responsibility to go around and have the house inspected to fix it. I mean, but
Because you never know if it's that vague, they could have repaired another window that you didn't even know was there.
and I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've done it before. A home inspector called out something. I repaired something. He went back and did a reinspection and called out something somewhere else. It's like, well, something somewhere else wasn't in the original write-up. This is what was said, and this is what we did. So yeah, it's good to give the specifics or some kind of. And I know that home inspectors don't give all these specifics. That way, they still have a CYA in their back pocket. I know that Because if you call out wood rot and there's wood rot somewhere else other than what you saw, you can still say, I called out wood rot.
Yeah.
I understand that. I understand how this works. But at the same time, we have to know, the people repairing it have to know what to repair if you're going to say that there is something.
Yeah.
And, things like that. And the one that's really bad is the windows. Luckily, the laws with the windows that have lost their seal.
Oh, blown
because
seals,
certain times of day you can see them, certain times of day you can't. Certain light you can see them, certain times you can't. And it's like, so if you just say windows have lost their seals, I don't have a clue because I might not be out there at the same time
That's
of day.
a very
that you're
good
in
point.
there.
That's when you do have to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one day it's there and one day it's not.
Correct.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to have to go away for a second, take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Thanksgiving safety around the house. Make sure your home and your family are safe during this as we begin the new holiday season in 2022. We'll be right back after this on the Home Pros Radio Show. If you're a home service provider who takes pride in your work and strives to be recognized as a trustworthy professional in your industry, the Home Pros Radio Show wants to hear from you.
Become a Home Pros Radio Show partner. Send us an email at ask@homeprosradio.com.
Your Home Pros Radio Show Expo listing and your featured appearances on our podcast are just the beginning when it comes to the ways that we can help brand your business on the Home Pros Radio Show.
It's a great opportunity. It's just an email away. Ask@homeprosradio.com.
And we're back on the Home Pros Radio Show. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections, and I find stuff.
And I'm Shane Hips with Closing Contractor, and I fix stuff.
And we want to say happy Thanksgiving Eve. I'm sure plenty of folks are, if you're not watching this show, they're probably cooking. They're probably getting ready for the big day tomorrow.
Maybe so.
And if you're doing both, we've got some Thanksgiving safety tips for you to share. Once again, I was like, man, I didn't realize Thanksgiving was that much of a dangerous holiday. But
Oh, yeah.
apparently there are. And it's kind of funny to read some of these safety tips we saw that you want to keep track of around your house for Thanksgiving. So make sure none of these happen to you. Probably the number one thing on the list, there's our happy Thanksgiving sign. On the number one thing on the list here, stay alert in your kitchen.
Yeah. For multiple things.
Yeah, because there's a whole lot going on.
Yeah. Somebody be walking around with a knife behind you. Don't be burning, catching the house on fire.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's where you're spending most of your day there. You've got stuff in the oven, stuff on the stove.
Kids.
Yeah, kids running in and out. You got people around. So much going on. It's easy to miss something.
Mm-hmm.
Things might be boiling. Things might be burning, and you might be missing it. So make sure you're aware of what's going on. The National Fire Protection Association actually says that most cooking fires happen on Thanksgiving Day. Most of the, on record, which would make sense because everyone's cooking.
Yeah.
But, God, what a unfortunate tragedy to have happen on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, that's not good.
We don't want that.
Not good.
We want that to happen to you. So don't leave anything unattended. Also keep flammable objects away from the stove or the oven, especially if you're cooking with gas.
Right.
And of course, in any of these cases, keep a fire extinguisher handy. It's good to have one in the kitchen. And have one, what's the fire extinguisher recommendations? Have one on each floor of the home and in an accessible location. So
just in case.
Make sure you're prepared. So that's the biggest thing. Staying alert in your kitchen and keeping an eye on what's going on around you there. Next thing, this is also cooking related.
Yeah, I think this is one of the big reasons for all the fires.
Is deep frying.
Yes, deep frying.
People deep fry their turkeys.
Mm-hmm. They don't let it thaw out. Throw a big block of ice in that grease. Next thing you know, it's a mess.
It makes a huge mess.
Uh-huh.
And so, you could run into a burn hazard there. Do it outside, they recommend. Make
Yes.
sure you are doing your frying outside.
Yeah.
Just in case anything does splash. You don't want that going on in your house.
Yeah.
And
And make
then-
sure the ice is gone. I mean, put your hand up in it. Make sure there's not a chunk of ice because
Yeah.
that is what is going to cause the problem. If it's
Thaw
still in there.
completely, thoroughly, and even if it's thawed, make sure it's dry because it's the moisture that will do it. You're laughing like it's happened to you before.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah, I've seen never like completely full, but some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
It's yeah. Just
So-
it's not that hard to reach in there. Just make sure there's no extra chunks left
Yeah.
and dry it all off real good. It's not that hard to just go ahead and check it.
So that exploding turkey is more than just a an annual joke. It really happens.
Yes.
So be careful and do it outside, away from vehicles. That's another thing that's worth mentioning.
Yep.
Away from other flammable
Away
objects.
from your house, away from the vehicle. Go out in a nice little flat area, out
There
away
you
from
go.
everything.
Gotcha. So deep fry safely. Another thing, avoid. This is an obvious one. Avoid food poisoning. It
And
kinda
it's
makes
not
you
always
go,
labeled on it with the skull and crossbones. So
you like radon systems.
yeah.
Practice good food hygiene. That would be things like washing your hands thoroughly, vegetables, washing them thoroughly, your utensils and surfaces. Use food thermometers.
Yeah, cook your turkey completely done.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important too. So you want to cook that turkey all the way
Yeah,
through.
that food thermometer comes in handy there.
If you have, and a lot of people don't know this. Here's the deal. I will have to admit, after the last election, I learned that a lot of people don't know a lot. So,
Oh God, here
So-
we go.
a lot of people don't know, simple things like, for example, when cooking with meat, poultry, or anything like that, if you have uncooked meat on a plate, don't cook it and then put the cooked food back on the same plate.
Yeah, wash it
Yes.
and get don't mix the two, raw and cooked.
And that's a good way to get food poisoning.
Yes.
So do things like that. So make sure you're safe in the kitchen. Here's another way to be safe in the kitchen. Be careful with knives.
Yep. I guess I touched on this one a minute ago in the kitchen.
Right? People bind you with knives. It doesn't happen. It doesn't just happen on Halloween.
Yeah. This is like driving. Be defensive. Defensive driving. You got to watch out for all the other people. Somebody else might have a knife in their hand when you're in this
Yeah.
kitchen. So I mean,
True.
make sure.
Defensive cooking. Handle knives. I like this one. The recommendation I got on this one website says handle knives sober. and
Sober,
with
that's
care.
good.
So don't drink and knife.
Yes. Absolutely.
There you go.
But
Don't drink and knife. Oh, correct answer. Don't drink and knife.
there we go. A good thing with knives is aim it toward the floor.
Yeah.
When you're walking around with a knife, don't hold it like this.
Yeah.
Aim it toward the floor
Yeah.
where
When you're carving
just-
your turkey, don't cut it and back towards yourself.
Yeah, don't do that either.
Yeah, we should do a turkey carving lesson on that. Don't let kids cut stuff.
Yeah.
Be very careful about. Make sure you're handing knives to people who are qualified to use them.
Yes.
So, and put them away when you're done.
Yeah.
Next item on our list is to tidy your home. I always like the word tidy.
Okay.
That sounds fancy.
Okay.
Tidy your home.
Is this to keep people from tripping over laundry?
Yeah, tripping over anything.
Okay.
Because if you've got a lot of clutter, you're going to have a lot of people around most likely. So clutter and lots of people don't mix well. That'll create problems. And it will help avoid spills.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a spill, clean it up. Don't let it sit
Gotcha.
around. And light any pathways. It's darker this time of year, earlier. So, make sure that people can see where they're going. Arrange parking ahead of time.
Hey.
Yeah. And
if you
those
got a bunch of peeps
some of these
coming over.
neighborhoods, I don't know where they find
All the
places
people?
to put people.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you park? The roads are so skinny and they slam so many homes in.
Yeah.
So if you're in one of those neighborhoods, plan your parking ahead of time. That way people know where to go.
Yeah.
And
Get them to park at the pool and shuttle them in.
there you go.
Whatever you got to do.
You're not having to worry about people running and walking in between cars trying to get in and out and that sort of thing. Thankfully, I live in a neighborhood where our streets are very wide. We have plenty of room, but I don't know how some of these neighborhoods do it.
Yeah. There's some of them. I mean, I'm a little scared to park on the side of the road to go look at something right quick at a house or something because I'm afraid some car will come by and sideswipe me while I've been there for 15 minutes looking at something.
And there's a neat little tip that I saw recommended in one site is that if you have neighbors that you know are away for Thanksgiving, maybe they're somewhere else, and you have a lot of people coming over, ask them, hey, do you mind if we use your driveway? You might get a little tit for tat going there. It's like it makes their home look occupied, and you have plenty of room to park cars for you and your guests. So
that's a good little tip.
Yeah. So things like that. So Thanksgiving safety tips keep you safe around the house. You're gonna be in a house full of people.
Yes.
My parents are having everybody over, and they just moved to a smaller house.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting. They actually, in the invitation that they sent out to everybody, said, Thanksgiving at our house. Well, we get email.
Okay.
My mom's English, so everything's an invitation. Everything's formal.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And you got to RSVP. And are you coming? You haven't RSVP'd. Oh, God, I'll send the messenger pigeon over. No, but it's one of those deals where she said, Thanksgiving at our house, bring your own space. So we've already been warned. Oh, and they live in one of those neighborhoods. So I don't know where we're going to park. So they live in one of these, they've moved to one of these neighborhoods. It's like a retirement neighborhood.
Right.
Where they don't have to take care of their grass.
Gotcha.
All the homes are slammed in close together.
Yeah.
So the association takes care of all the the grass cutting and all that stuff, but it also means there's very little space.
Well, how many how many nieces and nephews do you have? A lot?
Oh, God, there's how many?
So there's going to be a lot of y'all
About 13, just in the kids.
13 kids?
Yeah. And, well, and they're older now, and they all want to bring their own cars.
Yeah, they don't want to ride with you. Y'all got to have fun.
I don't want to stay with you guys. I want to get out of here when I'm ready to go. So we're going to have our own Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade going up and down the street.
Are the kids taking their boyfriends and girlfriends to your parents?
We have a boyfriend. It's our first time having a boyfriend around, right?
Is that to your parents, or is that to yours, or is that
ours?
Both? That's to yours, not to.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not to the parents.
They're not going to the grandparents.
No, I don't think so.
Who knows?
It'll be interesting. We'll see. Yeah, you get older and the families get bigger, and yeah, because this is why you need Thanksgiving safety. Maybe we should do another. We should probably do another segment on how to avoid fights. I should add that to the list. Yeah.
What not to say at Thanksgiving dinner.
Don't talk about the election.
No election.
That's right.
No comments on your gaining weight. Yeah, we definitely should put that one together. Boy, you look healthy this year. Oh, yeah, right. What does healthy mean?
Yeah, proper ways. Realtor speak for Thanksgiving. Wow. You've really turned into a fixer-upper this year.
Yeah.
That's it. Your girlfriend's a real fixer-upper, sweetie.
We'll do that one for Christmas.
There you go.
Before Christmas, we'll come up with things not to say.
There you go. All right, so there we go for Thanksgiving. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's the Home Pros Radio Show News Desk. We'll be right back after this. Thanks for watching the Home Pros Radio Show. Shane and I would love to know what you think of the show, so we'd like to invite you to leave us a review.
At the Home Pros Radio Show, it's our goal to keep homeowners entertained, inspired, and informed. So let us know how we're doing.
Your review helps us ensure that we're including the content you want to hear and that we're reaching out to more homeowners just like you.
So click on that review button and tell us what you think.
Your relationship with your home is an emotional one. Your home provides a sense of pride for you and your family. Through ongoing training, past experience, and current technology, RIC Home Inspections can provide you with the most reliable and accurate information available so you can enjoy the rewards of your home ownership. Call RIC Home Inspections at 235-5505 or visit us online at richomeinspections.com. That's 235-5505. RIC Home Inspections. Love where you live.
The Home Pros Radio Show is brought to you in part by Screen Mobile of the Piedmont. Established in 1982, Screen Mobile National has been around that long, and they're the nation's largest screen installation and repair company. They offer many different options for windows, screens, whether it's a corporate location or even a home residential location. They can bring their mobile units out to you and repair your screens, replace them, or even create a whole outdoor environment that you can use to keep the bugs out with their screens.
I've always been impressed with the tent one, the one
Yeah.
that keeps your siding from melting or your neighbor's siding from melting.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's saying tint with an I to help cool things down. Yeah, for those of you who are not in the
Not from South Carolina.
Exactly, and that'll protect some of your outdoor building products like your siding from melting. That's a good point. I never
It's
even
not
thought
always a
about that.
grill. It can't be a window.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So give Screen Mobile a call. There's a Screen Mobile in your area. You can visit them online at screenmobile.com. If you're in the upstate of South Carolina, call Screen Mobile of the Piedmont, 864-641-7476. Oh, we're back on. Hey.
How about that?
Going quite ready. I was taking a little Thanksgiving break there.
There you go.
Welcome back to the Home Pros Radio Show. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections.
And I'm Shane Hips with Closing Contractor.
And my
Do you eat cranberry sauce?
cranberry sauce. Not really.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah. The jelly
Do
kind,
you get
not the real kind.
You get
Not
the
the real
kind that's
kind.
shaped like a can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that you slice.
Yeah.
I don't like the real kind because it's got all the seeds in it and all. I don't. I mean, I can eat it, but it's not as good as the jelly kind. I like the
Yeah.
jelly kind. I just wonder because
I've just
you know
never
that's one of
been-
those things. There's so many people that do eat it, and so many people that don't
I think
eat it. It's
cranberries
like,
are one of those things, or one of those things where you either, I guess you love it or hate it. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things. Yes.
I want to know how you eat it, though. Like, I eat the cranberries with the turkey. Nummy, nummy.
I eat it with the dressing.
Oh. See, I don't eat dressing, so.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Usually it'd be like a, yeah, sort of not completely mixed in, but a little bite of this and this. That's how I do it.
Ooh, I think you're excited.
Yeah. It's only once a year, then I'll be over it.
You know what?
What's that?
I didn't have this prepared, but I want to do this.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. This is going to be all a part of our, because this is a conversation we have every year.
Okay.
And I forgot to look this up, so I'm looking it up right now. This is going to be a part of our news update.
We're getting the news to give the news.
Yes, that's it. There you go. I love it.
Hey, how about that?
Well, so since it's Thanksgiving, let's talk about the news
Okay.
related to, this list comes out every year, is the Thanksgiving sides.
Oh, the most
By
common
state.
Oh, by state, yeah.
My computer's going
can't
blank on
remember.
me again.
I can't remember what ours is.
Yeah.
Is it dressing?
I think it was dressing or stuffing.
We don't do stuffing here. Only those transplants that come here from elsewhere bring stuff.
We don't call it
We
that.
don't cook ours in the bird.
Mm-hmm.
We cook it in the oven.
You cook it that way. Oh, you don't like put it. You don't.
That's the difference.
Well, I guess that's the difference between dressing and stuffing.
Yeah, because we don't stuff it.
I stuff my turkey.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. It's part of the deal.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people. I just like forever. I thought they were the same thing because I didn't realize that people put it in the bird. But just because I just wasn't familiar with that.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm looking it up. I don't know what happened. The one resource that I looked up didn't have it by state. So let's see. We've got. Oh, now this radio station wants me to log into their whatever.
In order to see what they're. Is that what it was? I can't remember what it was, but it was. That is an interesting. Get back to my previous. Okay.
Okay, ready? We're gonna now we've got it. We got it hooked up. Ready? So we've got our news. We've got our sides. Our Thanksgiving sides by state. I've got it pulled up. Ready? See
Yeah,
if it
ready?
comes
Here
up.
we go.
There we go. All right. So, what is South Carolina? Mac and cheese? What?
It
all
says
right,
mac
this
and
is
cheese.
according to Delish.
Yeah.
This is our source this year. So mac and cheese for Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland and Delaware.
Huh.
We got mac and cheese taking
We're a
over
lot of
the
mac and cheese
Southeast.
over here. Yeah.
That's pretty surprising. What do you think? Mac and cheese. See, I'm not from here originally.
Okay.
So I'm from. I get my family's from New York. I was born in
That's
Ohio.
why you said stuffing. If you look up here,
That's
it says
why I said
stuffing up there.
Oh, is that what it
It
does?
says stuffing up here.
Stuffing up in
Down
the
here,
Northeast,
If
and
you
it's-
look down in the South when it shows up,
I
it's
think
dressing.
I think it's funny.
Because we're not used to putting that stuff up in that turkey.
I think it-
We just-
okay.
We just
Yeah.
put it in a pan and cook it,
Did you? I ain't eating that. Did you see where it was? Where did it come out of? What'd you say? You saw a joke?
I saw a video the other day where some kid was talking about put that apple up in that turkey. He wasn't eating that turkey.
Yeah. So it is funny how in the Northeast, this is Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts area, the New England area,
Uh-huh.
everything's called stuffing. But then and it's the same color red when you get down to Alabama and Louisiana. The funny thing is Alabama calls it dressing.
Uh-huh.
They're like, we ain't eating any out of that turkey.
Yeah.
But then when you get down to Louisiana, it becomes cornbred dressing.
Yeah,
It's not
although
just
our dressing is cornbread dressing
Yeah.
as well, but yeah, they want to specify that it's cornbread dressing there. Well, for me, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love mac and cheese.
Yeah.
But I have mac and cheese all year round. Where dressing is really the only time I really have dressing is on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I would consider, this is just me, dressing a bigger thing than mac and cheese because
I would. Mac and
I
cheese,
can
I
get mac
always-
and cheese anytime.
Yeah, we have mac and cheese with barbecue.
No.
We have mac and cheese with
Yeah.
all kinds of other things.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like mac and cheese. I like mac and cheese probably better than dressing. But I only eat that dressing that one time a year, so
Yeah.
I would consider the dressing more of a Thanksgiving thing. But, it's, I guess, just whatever, different strokes for different folks, I guess.
And the Midwest seems to like their casseroles. Now, here's my beef with this list every year.
The Maine?
Huh?
Maine?
Oh, God, Maine. I don't like that one either. All right, enough with the side salads, folks.
But, last year it seemed
Actually,
like there
side
was...
salad I would expect to be like California or something like that.
Honestly, it seems like last year, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like there was more than one state last year that had
with
so-
salad.
So I think we're spreading out to
hopefully
more
we're-
places. People are saying, okay, let's get some different food for Thanksgiving other
Yeah.
than salad.
But my other beef is with the states that are picking rolls and biscuits. I don't know if I'd call that a side.
Yeah. I'm with you.
That's
I
a
agree.
given. I would think rolls are.
Yeah, I
meat-
see biscuits
bread is
now.
a given. That's like
Yeah.
part of the meal.
Yeah, that's there. Well, one of these says brown gravy. So the
Brown.
gravy's considered
A side. You just eat a bowl of brown gravy.
gravy with your turkey.
Come on, Wyoming. What is the deal?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
White gravy in Arkansas. That's because they're racist. I'm just kidding. Arkansas. I guess I got some emails to
It's a
read
joke,
after this
joke.
show. But yeah, it's always fun to look at. And mashed potatoes. See, I could see that. It's a very mashed potato seems. What do you think is the most popular based on this? Looks like green bean casserole. That's a hash brown casserole in Alaska.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But green bean casserole, I think.
There's a
is-
lot of mashed potatoes on here.
Yeah.
It's like west and all up across the top.
Those are the two most popular ones. It looks like mashed potatoes, green bean casserole.
Yeah.
There it is. Midwest casseroles. Those are big in the Midwest. Hot dishes is what they call them up there.
Yeah. Well, we
Do
Uh-oh.
any of those say smashed potatoes?
No.
no, that's only Rachel Ray.
What? It's only what?
Rachel Ray.
Oh, Rachel Ray.
She
Is that
used
what
to make
calls it?
smashed potatoes. I used to tell my oldest daughter. I used to tell her that I grew up next door to Rachel Ray, and her brother named Fred Ray. And
Ray.
then they taught me how to make smashed potatoes, so I'd be making smashed potatoes. She believed me. She believed a lot of stuff that I used to tell her.
So bad. So bad.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, her brother's name was Fred Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Ray. Because I wanted Ray to be his middle name and his last name. I don't know why.
Ray.
Fred Ray.
Oh, all right. Should we move on with our news desk?
Guess so.
It's about time. What else can we learn on our news desk? We've got, here's a story. This one's out of New York. Firefighters responded to a home in New York's Long Island region to rescue a dog who fell into a cesspool and became stranded 12 feet underground.
Mm.
The homeowner said her dog Duke, a black lab French bulldog mix, fell into the cesspool through a manhole that had been uncovered for service. So the Melville Volunteer Fire Department responded to the home and found Duke swimming at about 12 feet down. I already said that. Wow. This is what happens. This is what news stories sound like when you rip and read.
Yeah.
I didn't edit this. I'm just reading it as it's very redundant. The department called in to help. They called in help from the Huntington Manor Fire Department and the Suffolk County Emergency Services Unit. The rescuers, the video or the photo that we have behind us, they actually had to get a rescue tripod out and an animal snare to lasso Duke and lift him to safety.
Okay.
Dog's wet, dirty, and afraid, but uninjured. Wow, he was probably having a blast, though.
Oh,
Knowing
yeah.
Dogs.
He was living it up.
This smells great down here. Actually, he started off a white lab. Now he's a black lab.
Yeah.
We got a picture of him and his owner down there in the corner. And actually, now the dog's named Duke. Is that what it says?
Yes.
His name now is Dookie.
They changed it.
Yeah. I know that would be my new name for him if it was my
If it was
dog.
your dog, that'd be his name, huh?
I'd be like, Dookie, that's my dog, Dookie.
Mm-hmm.
Get over here, Dookie and Ray Ray. All right, let's see. What else do we have on our list? Oh, this is a good one. This one's a fun one. Just in time for the holidays. Christmas Story, of course, is the big movie this time of year. They just released a sequel to A Christmas Story. It's A Christmas Story Christmas.
Okay.
And now it's all, I guess the timing's right. The famous Christmas Story house in Cleveland, Ohio is now
For sale?
for sale.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and it's located on 11th Street in Cleveland, Ohio. Many of the scenes for the movie, including the infamous staircase scene where little Ralphie Parker showed off his pink bunny costume for the first time, was shot in that house. And old man Parker placed his memorable leg lamp for all to see. That was shot in the house.
Yep.
Most of the scenes, though, the interior scenes were not shot in the house. Mostly exterior
I got you.
scenes. But yeah, pretty cool. The house is listed by Hoff and Lee, jointly marketed with REAG. I'm not sure what the name of or what that acronym stands for, but those are real estate companies in the area. The listing noted the house was originally built in 1895. I didn't realize. Well, I guess it's right there at the turn of the century because it's an old. I guess it's a borderline arts and crafts / it kind of even looks a little Victorian.
Right.
It was purchased in 2004 on eBay. It was renovated. I think we've covered this before, years ago.
Yeah.
When there was another story about, I think they were starting to allow people to spend the night there.
Yes, I do remember that.
And the home was open to public tours in 2006 and has attracted over 1 million visitors. I've been there. I've taken my family there. The Bumpus House, they were the next-door neighbors. The parking lot, museum, and the gift shop buildings are all also included. So it's kind of turned into a complex.
Okay, so it's not just this house anymore. Huh?
Yeah, right across the street. It's just, okay, enough. I'm getting emails. It's probably from my Arkansas state. So, yeah, right across the street is a museum which houses all kinds of stuff from the movie and from that era. And there's a parking lot. They actually have the fire truck on display, the fire truck that was used when they had to rescue Ralphie's friend from his tongue being frozen to the pole.
Stuck to the pole, yeah.
Yeah. The museum contains the largest collection of items from A Christmas Story, including props, costumes, and others. The gift shop is 4,000 square feet. And so there's a lot going. You know what I don't have? At the time that this story was published, there was no price
Oh, really?
advertised.
1.3, I think.
1.3 million, I think. I think you're right. I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, this would have been a tricky one to try to guess because you're not only going with this house, you got all these other things that are going with us.
There's a lot. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I've got a updated story here. This one is the most recent one. But yeah, that's the reason why it would be so high. You know, interesting sidebar
What's that?
is that not far from this house is. Y'all remember that? You remember that story? This story. There was a girl who was being kept as a. I'm really gonna bring this show down.
I know who
she
you're
was
talking
being kept captive in the basement of a house.
And I remember that guy.
And that guy, let's see if I have him on my button bar.
I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was it's this guy. The dead giveaway
Dead
guy.
giveaway.
That was like not far, like less than a couple miles from the Christmas Story house. Like in the same neighborhood.
He said dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway. As soon as I saw a white girl jump into a black man's arms, that was a dead giveaway. I remember too much of that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to the Christmas Story. So yeah, it could be yours. This house could be yours. Now, I guess the biggest thing is that hopefully they'll keep it public where people can visit.
I mean, it's got the leg lamp. It looks like the leg lamp comes with it. Maybe a little Red Ryder or BB gun. I mean, hey, why not?
It is a cool place. So there you go. That's our news desk for this week on the Home Pros Radio Show. All right, there it goes. Holiday edition of the Home Pros Radio Show. What did we learn today? Well, we learned that, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Gentlemen, let's
There you
broaden
go.
our minds.
We learned the Christmas Story.
Yep.
Well,
What
house
we learned
is on
about
the
it?
market.
Yep.
We learned that your dog Duke, if he lands in a cesspool, he'll turn into Dookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
His new name.
What else did we learn? We learned that we still have some interesting preferences when it comes to Thanksgiving side dishes.
Yes.
There's several states there in the Midwest that like rolls. That's all they have. They have turkey and rolls. That's all they eat.
They make little turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
Little turkey rolls.
Yeah.
Let me see your turkey roll.
Oh, gee whiz. I wish I was ready for that soundbite. What else we learned? We learned how to keep things safe. We want to keep you safe in your home around Thanksgiving. Keep the knives put away. Don't leave them out. Plan your parking.
Plan ahead.
Yeah. What else? Oh, deep fry outside.
Yes.
Away from other
from
flammable
stuff.
items. And most importantly, when you're cooking, there's so much going on in the kitchen. Make sure you just stay on top of things. Be organized and don't leave things unsupervised. And finally, we also learned another example of the value of having a reinspection done on a house. If you're purchasing a home, doesn't seem to be a whole lot of that going on lately, but with the market the way it is, which we'll talk about next week on the show. But, if you're closing on a home, you want to make sure all the repairs are done. It's worth that extra cash, unlike Vicky in Greenville who found some rotted wood that was unexpected because she thought it was fixed, but it wasn't. Invest in that reinspection. All right. Next week on the show, I want to tease this photo.
Is that it?
Do you know what that is? If you saw that on the outside of a house.
On a house?
Yeah.
It's not a building.
Yeah, it's on the outside of a house.
I would go with a Knox box.
Oh, really? We're going to learn what a Knox box is next week. How about that?
Is that what it is?
A Knox box.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what a Knox box is, but we'll have this discussion.
You didn't expect me to say it. You didn't expect me to know the answer to that one,
No.
did you?
I don't know what a Knox box is, but hey, we're going to talk about this device too when we next week on the show. Make sure you join us. We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Follow us on social media. Ask at Home Pros Radio, that's our email address. At Home Pros Radio is where you can find us on all social media platforms. Shoot us an email with your questions, comments, concerns. We'd love to hear from you. All right, have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll catch you next week on the Home Pros Radio Show.
Thank you for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show. If you have a question for the Home Pros, visit us online at homeprosradio.com, where you can also catch our podcast episodes and learn more about the topics and guests we bring to you each week. The Home Pros Radio Show is made possible by Prime Lending, RIC Home Inspections, Closing Contractor, Radon Recon, and Carolina Heating Service. If you are a trusted service provider in our area and would like to contribute to the show, send us a message through our Contact Us page at homeprosradio.com. Once again, thanks for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show.